are they three? Big roach, little toe, two fly. Wait a minute, let me slide through that window that be open. I'ma come through much obliged. I'm buzzing in your ear, I know you wanna take my life.
Some nights alone, in the zone, heart turns to stone, feel it to the bone. Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, I'm bound, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Volcy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace. Streetlights glare, danger's always there. In the lair we prepare, no room for care. Shadow paths we trace, haunted smiles on our face. No dreams left to chase, locked in this space. Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is our shroud. Clock ticks loud, can't escape the cloud. In the crowd, I'm bowed, thoughts wrapped in shroud. Falsy thoughts race, life's a twisted place. No time to erase, I just keep the pace. Streetlights glare, danger's always there. In the lair we prepare, no room for care. Shadow paths we trace, haunted smiles on our face. No dreams left to chase, locked in the space. Silence screams loud, destiny's proud. Can't stand the crowd, darkness is our shroud. Some nights alone, in the zone, heart turns to stone, feel it to the bone. Clock ticks loud.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get it started. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm going to open up the call lines in just a bit. All right, call lines are going to be open in just a bit. Y'all start tapping that screen. All right, y'all. So last week was my politics week. Last week was my religion week. Excuse me. This week we're doing politics. As you can see on the board, we are doing politics this week. So if you'd like to talk to me about why I should support Trump, go ahead and call on in or hit that request button, and we can definitely have that conversation. Once again, I appreciate everybody who's here. Thank y'all so much. We're just going to go ahead and wait for either a caller or someone to request on up, and we can definitely have that conversation. So I do a rotating week. Some weeks I do politics, some weeks I do religion. This week I'm doing politics. Hopefully we get some good conversations today, because last time we just got a crazy man who was texting me like crazy. Last week we just got a crazy man who was texting me like crazy, and I don't know why. I just kind of ignored all his messages. So if you would like to go ahead and come on up and have a conversation with me, talk about the subject I have on the board. Thank y'all so much for being here. Axel, I think you can call in from France. That should be possible. Yeah, I got someone who wants to call in from France. That should be possible. I think that's fine. So yeah, if you like to call in and calling in from wherever you're from, go ahead and call in. It's all good. Wifey also cooked for me today, you know, some steak and mashed potatoes. I ain't gonna show you the plate before y'all try to come over here, but in between the talk, I'm gonna be eating too. So, but yeah, you can call in from France, I believe. But if you'd like to talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and hit that request button. Call on in. Hold on, I just see that it's let me shrink this a little bit. All right, cool. Shrink that up a little bit. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So we are here now, and we're just waiting for anybody to go ahead and call on in, join on the stream. If you're watching me over from the Deconstruction Junction, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching me there. If you're watching me from my channel, Volsy Thoughts, thank you so much for watching me there. And if you're watching me from Instagram, because I'm also live on Instagram, thank you so much for watching me there as well. Appreciate y'all. Let me go ahead and paste this onto the Instagram too. I'm gonna pin that to the Instagram. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pin that to the Instagram. All right, y'all. So tap that screen. We're just waiting for a caller to call. I'm calling right now. Let me know before we get to. Well, as long as we're waiting for somebody to call in, let me know how y'all days is going, how y'all night is going. All right, for the person that's asking me, no, I don't support Trump. I'm asking why should I? See, it asks why should I support Trump? So if you're a some sort of Trump supporter or a conservative, let me know why I should support Trump. And I want actual genuine discussion and conversation. Y'all can tell me, you know, if you're a person that actually really does support him, like, let me know. Yeah, so we're just talking to Trump supporters today. If you're a person that actually really does support him and really would like to tell me, give me good reasons to support Trump, let me know why I should, or even why I should be a conservative or even a Republican. Because at the moment, I don't see the reason to be. Like, the guy fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not seeing any reason to be a Trump supporter at the moment. But if you want to come up and tell me that there's a reason to support Trump, go ahead and let me know, and I appreciate you. What's up, Trell? Satham is in the building. I see you, Satham. How you doing, Loretta? How's it going, Andrew? Jethro, I see you in the building as well. Thank y'all so much for being here. Noah, how's it going? What's good, Noah? How's it going, Noah, over in my YouTube? Thank y'all so much for being here. Like I said, go ahead and tap on that screen. Yes, I am an atheist. Yes, I am an atheist for anybody who's asking. But that was last week. Last week was my religion week, and this week is my politics week. So we're gonna run politics this week. Okay, Goat Boy or Goat Baby, go ahead and come on up, and we could go ahead and have a discussion. I'm not sure what you're asking about Sharia law though, so but go ahead and come on up. I think that's actually Goatee Baby. I think I mispronounced your name. I seem to be having difficulty coming up though. Goatee Baby, do you hear me? Are you there? Yeah, goatee baby, you have really low bars. That might be the reason. You have extremely low bars. So I don't know. That might be the reason why you can't come. Oh, there you go. That looks better now. Your bars are better now. So let me know if you could come up. That one said I should support Trump for a job in the government that I don't qualify for. Well, I think I qualify more than the jackasses we have in office now. So, goatee baby couldn't come up for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. Pray for their Wi-Fi, I guess. All right, guys. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep on waiting. But as far as the question about Sharia law, that seems extreme. You know what I mean? I don't think it's one or the other. I don't think it's support Trump. Otherwise, we get Sharia. That's kind of stupid, right? If anything, we'll probably get more Christian like theocracy than we would ever get Sharia here in America. Yeah, I could be a Trump ambassador to Haiti. But listen, if I become ambassador to Haiti, I'm not gonna follow any like American because all the ambassadors are supposed to be spreading like, you know, American like imperialism and American interest over abroad. I'm not gonna tell Haitians to follow American interests. I'm just gonna follow their own interests, if anything. Oh, I thought I had a guess, but they dropped out for some reason. Well, we'll go ahead and keep playing the music until we get a guess. You know, it's kind of funny that this topic is hard to get guests now. You know what I mean? Unless you're like Parker or Dean or somebody like that. But if you look like Parker, Dean, or Santana, like this subject is hard to get guests on. But if you know, that's because you know they take the algorithm, they conquer the algorithm, so it's easier for them to get the guests. It gets sent out everywhere. But if you're a smaller creator like myself, this topic, it doesn't get a lot of guests. And I guess that means why people are saying that, you know, they're this is essentially a cult, so maybe we shouldn't be supporting it. But yeah, if I was an ambassador to Haiti, like I wouldn't be telling them to follow American interests. That's number one. So they would never make me an ambassador. They want you to follow the interest of America and its allies, America and the West. And that's the first thing I will tell Haiti, to not follow American interests in the West. Because the thing is, America doesn't see Haiti as a strategic or not even a strategic or an equal partner. Yeah, I mean, they see Haiti as a problem to manage. Yeah, that's true. I could just lie. But they don't see it as a strategic partner or an equal partner. They just see it as a problem to manage. You know what I mean? And I will tell the Haitian government that straight up, like, listen, they don't see you as an equal partner. So stop being susu. You know what I mean? These Moon Blondes don't like you. All right? The Blondes don't like you. So stop being susu. You're not an equal partner to them. You're more of a problem to handle, you know? So first thing I will tell them is to follow your own interests. And to tell you the truth, Haiti should have been trying to follow the East more than the West, to tell you the truth. They should make strategic partnerships with places like China. Maybe not Russia, but maybe China more. Hey, Brett. Flavor of leftist. I'm a socialist. That's my flavor of left. That's my flavor of leftism. I'm a socialist. I haven't read enough theory to consider myself an ML. I haven't read enough theory to do that. But I would say I'm a socialist in the same vein of Huey, of Fred Hampton, of MLK. I'm a socialist in their vein, you know? Now, a lot of the policies that I push for are democratic socialism, the policies that I push for. But the reason why I do that is I believe that the working class is not ready for revolution. You know what I mean? So in the meantime, we have to do something in order to improve our conditions, right? So I push for those policies to at least improve our conditions and do enough political education in order for us to get to a point where the working class is ready for revolution. I just don't think they are right now. All right, y'all, still here, still waiting for any guests to come up. Typically, if you don't get guests within the first few minutes, push you out anymore. So I might do a reset. I've been on for about 13 minutes now. If it gets to 20 and I don't get any guests, then I'm just gonna go ahead and do a reset. Y'all see y'all would see the screen like go to something else really quickly, and then we'll reset in order for that to happen. But yeah, y'all, if you are any type of Trump supporter or conservative, the phone number is right up here, 786-530-5941. Watch me over on TikTok. You can go ahead and request up. And if you can't request up, go ahead and call the number in. Anarchist. Now, I don't have an issue with anarchism. I just don't know how it'll work. But that doesn't mean I'm necessarily against it. It's just the only reason I don't know how to work is because I'm biased towards a state existing. You know, I'm biased towards a state existing because, like, I've never been in a situation where there was no state. You know what I mean? So I'm not against anarchism. I just can't picture it. That's the only thing. And I think that's the issue with most people's. I think that's the issue with most people. Most people, they can't envision anarchism because it's like, in the human condition that we're right now for the past 12,000 years, we've always had a state. You know, so most people can't envision an anarchist society. You know, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad thing or that I'm against it or saying that it'll never happen. I'm fine with it. I don't have any beef with anarchism, like, at all. All right, y'all. I might hit a quick reset here over on TikTok. Over on the YouTube, you'll see me go back to my intro. That's only because, like, we're just kind of gonna be resetting here on TikTok. All right, because typically if you don't get any guests within like the first 10 minutes, you gotta go ahead and reset the entire live. Which kind of sucks. Oh, he said this is gonna raise my blood pressure. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that this could raise your blood pressure. So we have someone who's an anti-revolutionary on my YouTube saying that the revolutionaries found out in the 60s. I don't think he realized that the only reason why the Black Panthers crumbled is because there was a concentrated effort to make sure that Black people do not combine forces and do not combine forces with the other working class. Like, everything sucks today because they stopped the Black Panther Revolution. If the Black Panthers were able to continue, in my opinion, things would be a lot better. Now, the Panthers have their own problems. You know, of course, every organization has its own problems. Now that this was the 60s, so of course, you know, sexism was a thing, right? So the Black Panthers had their own problems, but the ideas that they had, you see a lot of them coming to fruition today. You see a lot of white folks accepting what the Panthers said back in the 60s. You know, working class solidarity, you know, international solidarity, supporting Palestine. The Panthers did that before, and when it was in the 60s. I mean, so it's one of those things that you know, people are late to the curve. People are just late to the curve, you know. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna hit a quick reset over here on TikTok. Okay. All right. So guys, on YouTube and on Instagram, you're gonna see my screen go back to the introduction. You're gonna see the screen go back to the introduction, but that's because I'm just resetting here on YouTube. Okay. Don't touch that dial. I will be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. I'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Ben, I'm sorry he hates us.
I don't. I'm trying to lock in. I need to not sell my run. We got this. Andrew says gold. I'll get a gold on the next split. This one's probably not. Although I think my THI gold
Those
was like
stupid
actually kind of
plants are
decent.
useless.
My THI gold was kind of decent. A 623. That sounds pretty good to me. Dude, I've done that twice now. What the hell is that? Crash. Crash. It's bad, but it's not the worst. Okay.
He loves
Acceptable.
the tick in the top, Ben. It's time we move forward
Acceptable.
with the papers.
Okay. Okay. I'll take it. Unlimited potential for the rest of this run.
GT
Unlimited
took a
potential.
shortcut.
All good. We still save time on the balance splits. So we're fine. Be all right. Gold splits for shout out. I don't know if I can get that much gold. That would be a whole minute of gold. I don't think I have that much in me right now. Maybe once I get better. Let's see though. You never know.
What are your plans for this weekend?
Win. There's a shortcut to get down here. W. It's just a shortcut. It's fine.
Imagine that we press the reset button.
I'm not going to. Guys, it's chill. I was a little nervous on that first attempt. It's okay. Oh,
How much to reset right now?
you know what? It's free. What? What?
I'm having some friends over. Don't
run,
shit
I
the bed
can't.
on this one.
I know. All right. We'll get it next time.
Who responds what day when someone asks what your weekend plans are lol?
I didn't say what day. I said I'm gonna win. It's my weekend plans.
I spun the nigga around and I put the nigga in a full Nelson.
The reset gets us back into the algo. Go ahead and start tapping that screen, y'all. Start tapping that screen. All right, welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back, YouTube. Start tapping that screen. All right, Anointed, go ahead and come on up and let's go ahead and talk about that for a second, okay? We're gonna talk for a few minutes about why you think that is.
Hello.
All right, let me go ahead and pause this music real quick. All right, Anointed, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And why did you disagree that leftist policies are not better for society?
Yeah, I am over the age of 18. I mean, there's a lot of lefty progressive policies, but there are quite a few lefty progressive policies that I believe aren't good for society, such as like some that I mentioned already. The pushing of the trans ideology, especially onto children.
What do you think
was
being
there?
transgender is?
Well, I mean, you ask different people, they'll give you different. But ultimately, transgenderism is the belief that someone can transition into a gender that they affirm to be. Essentially, that might not align with their biology.
Correct. All right. So if that's the case, being transgender is something like gender identity is something that's within you, right? It's internal. It's something that essentially cannot change. For most people, 99.9% of the earth, yeah, sure, our sex and our gender is aligned. Like I was born with these male parts, and according to the society that I'm in, being a man, that's what I feel like. You know what I mean? That's my internal thing. But there are some people who are born with my same male parts, but what the society determines how women move into society, they align more with that. And this is something that's existed for all of human society. So when you get it's an ideology, it's not something that their mind changes. Someone is transgender, they're transgender. Just like someone is gay, they're gay. Someone is bi, they're bi. It's just something that exists within humanity. I would say that it's something that's not being pushed on kids. Like someone's gonna be transgender, a kid is gonna be gay, a kid's gonna be in any of these things, right? So what we should do is, since this disposition exists, let's go ahead and structure our medical, our everything that we can, our psychology, our therapy, in order to assist these people, instead of trying to say that they're wrong for how they identify within themselves.
So then someone identifies as being if you, for example, come around and say, I'm a YT female that's 5'4" and I'm 14 years of age, because you simply identify as being that, should the society structure themselves around that view and affirm that view with you?
The problem with that characterization is that you're mixing up several different things. Age is not determined by something that's internal, right? Age is determined by how many times we go around the sun. You know, that's like something that's kind of like everybody has to follow. So like I'm in my 30s. I can't identify as a 14-year-old and go to school, right? Unless something is seriously wrong with my brain. And even then, I'll probably not be around children because I'm much bigger than them, right? So it's not something that to say that, oh, I just decided that I'm 14 years old today. That's not how being transgender works. Not only that, even if I say that I identify as a white woman or identify as a man, how does society interact? They interact with me as a black man, or they interact with me as a white woman? I don't get the privileges of being a white woman, do I? Yeah, I mean, I don't. Now, if I were transgender and I say that I'm a woman and I move through my life the way that a woman does, then yeah, there should be something that could assist me or help me out, or just not be a jerk. If my pronouns are she her, then it is no issue to say she her. Like what's the issue? It's no skin off my back, right? But
Yeah,
if I say I'm a white woman, society doesn't treat me like a white woman, so that's not possible to do.
Yeah, so you keep making the point about how if I identify as being a woman, that if I live my life like a woman, then, you know, why doesn't society kind of affirm that, right? But as a male, you could literally, factually cannot live your life like a woman, right? Women have different hormone balances than men. Women have menstruations that men don't go through, right? Women have all sorts of different things that they go through, right? that a man can never experience, right? So with the same thing with, like, for example, your age, right? So if you believe, right, that a man can still experience the things that women can experience, right? Then why can't, as a grown man, say, "Oh, I live my life like a child. I live my life like a 14-year-old, right? So I see myself as a 14-year-old, right? So society should structure their life, structure how they function around me being 14, because I live my life like a 14-year-old, right? I act like a kid. I do kiddie things, right? I might not go to school the same way that's I might not go to school the same way a man who leases a woman doesn't menstruate, but a lot of factors. I still have a lot of similarity between me and a lot of 14-year-olds.
Right. Well, there's an issue here. The main issue here is that you reduce being a woman down to what the body does. So, like, if you say that that a male doesn't menstruate, yeah, correct. Males don't menstruate, right? But if you boil down to being a woman as menstruating, our grandmothers are no longer women because they don't menstruate anymore. You see what I mean? That would be an issue. Now, of course, they used to menstruate, but they don't do it anymore. So if you go down to, like, the hormone balances and menstruating, our grandmothers are not women. You see what I'm saying? So it causes an issue there. Why does this different from age? Is because age literally has to do with how many times you go around the sun. You can't go around the sun 38 times and say, no, I only went around it 14 times. That's not the case. That's not possible. But I understand where you're coming from, that you think sex and gender are basically the same thing. They're aligned, but they're not. And we've known that in science for years now.
Yeah. So going back to your first point about old women not menstruating. I mean, obviously women stop menstruating at different ages, but you do eventually, ideally, stop menstruating, right? But like you mentioned within your own sentence, right, our grandmothers, right, who are women, right, they eventually stop menstruating, right? That's a common thing, right? But no man in any way menstruates in any sense. So neither a young male or middle-aged male or an old man menstruates in any sense, right? Men don't menstruate.
Right. No,
Women menstruate,
I agree.
right?
I agree that males do not menstruate. We both agree on there. But male and man are not the same thing.
So what are the difference between?
Is a 5-year-old boy a man?
Yes. Save as the leftist.
Yeah. So a 5-year-old boy is not a man, right? So we know that male and man is not the same thing.
Well, so man, being a man has a lot of definitions to it. I mean, being a man, there's like definition of, like, you're masculine, right? You're being a man, right?
Right. So
you
you're actually
man, like,
so Anointed. You're actually showing what the point is here. Since all these things have different definitions and they're more nebulous, what we're discussing now is how do we move in society like that now? You know what I'm saying? Because there's different definitions of man that don't include what your biology is. It includes how you move through society. So if that's the case for men, why is it not the case for women?
Yeah, so I didn't finish my point. So these two things, these two things, so men and male, right? Even though a man has different definition, is usually tied in with being a male, right? So for example, if you get a female, right, acting quite masculine, right, I'll never say, oh, you're a man, right, in any sense, right? But if I say a young male, is acting quite masculine, I'll be like, oh, you're acting like a man, right? You're a young man, right? So these things, even though I do agree that these things can carry, for example, man and woman can carry different definitions to them, right? They're usually tied in with the biological reference, which is male, right? So there's never a sense where you call a woman a man, right? But you can call in different senses a male being a man in different ways. And the same thing with a woman as well. You wouldn't call a grown, wouldn't usually call a grown, a young child, a young girl, a woman, right?
Of course. No, but
she can do certain things, right, that can be like,
that seems grown.
You're acting like a woman.
No, I got you. So I understand all this, right? Give me 1 second. Give me one moment.
Call from
Austin.
907. Please hold for me. I'll be right back with you. All right. So yeah, no, I got you right. I understand all these ways, but notice what you just did. You're talking about behaviors that we tie to certain biologies, but you also know that there are women who act masculine, right? And this I've seen. I don't know how it is over in the UK, but I've seen this plenty of times in the States where they tell women you're acting like a man because of the way that they act within a masculine fashion or present themselves as masculine. You know what I mean? Such as butch lesbians or stud lesbians. You know what I mean? They say that they say that these are the men of the relationships like all the time. You see what I'm saying? So it's what they like. Being a man is also how you move through society, not just what your biology is. Because just like how you said, if a young boy does something that grown men do, we'll say that he's acting like a man or acting like a young man. So it's your behavior, not just your biology. Now, of course, those things can be tied to each other, like something like aggression, right? We have more testosterone than women, so we have more aggression. Understood. No one is denying any of that, right? What they're saying is that when it comes to the labels of woman and man, those are not simply tied to just your biology. It's also how you move through society.
No, I mean, I'm not necessarily disagree with that point. The only point I'm trying to make is that you would not naturally call a woman a female a man. So, for example, like example you give about lesbians, right? So, you can say that a lesbian is acting quite boyish or masculine, right? But I would never call her in any sense a man, right? That you're being a man, right? Because there's no sense where lesbian can be a man. But I can say to a young boy or a young male that that's acting quite masculine. All right, you're being a man. Like for example, let's say he stands for his mom. So okay, that guy, you're being a man. Mm-hmm. You're doing what men do. But I'll never say that about a female because females. And I want to also highlight one more thing as well.
Hey, you're one dumb nigger. You're one dumb.
Of course, so that always happens. We always get the racism, y'all. But go ahead and put F6 in the chat for me, please. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So I just wanted to add one more thing that I do believe, right, that there are certain. So the way the male and the female biology is made up, I do think that there's naturally certain roles that fit towards the male and female that distinct from each other that men should be and women should be. So, for example, men should be a certain way, right, in the way they act, and women should be a certain way in the way they act. Now, I do agree that there's some men that don't always act like that fully, and they may kind of act maybe, for example, more feminine than the average guy. For example, men should lead, right? But you might have some men that don't want to lead, right? Men should take on responsibility, but you might have a lot of men that don't want to take responsibility. But I would say that's not a good thing, right?
Here's what I would
and you
say,
might have women.
I got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Last thing, and you might have females likewise who don't like to do female things, right? They like to act like you mentioned, they like to do things that a lot of boys like to do, right? They like to add a bit of wrath and stuff like that. And I do think it's not necessarily too bad to a certain extent, but it does get to a point, for example, you get like a tomboy, where it's like a woman shouldn't be acting like, a female should not be acting like that, right? I don't know what type of, and a lot of times when people act like that, by the way, is rooted in some form of trauma.
Okay, so here's the two things that I would say, right? Like I understand what you mean, that you would for a male you'll never put woman on him, and for a female you never put man on that female, right? I get that. If person is a male, person is female, you're gonna tie the labels man and woman to what their sex is. I understand that. However, what I'm saying is that within our society, especially American society, this happens all the time, especially with stud and butch lesbians, where they say that they're acting like men all the time. You see what I'm saying? So it just may be something that's personal for you. But the second thing that I would say before we got to get out of here, the second thing I would say is when you're talking about, the different roles, I don't think there's any should. People, well, the only should I would say is that people should do what's what's closer to their talents and what they're able to do. There are women who are way better leaders than men, way better leaders. You know what I'm saying? There are men who are better nurturers than women. You know what I mean? I've seen some amazing stay-at-home dads and women who are the breadwinners, and they flip those roles because they're just better at it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's anything that they should do that just because their biology is one thing. You know what I mean? I don't think just because you were born with an XY, therefore you should be a leader. A lot of these motherfuckers suck, bro. Like a lot of them suck, and I mean they shouldn't be leaders just because they have a penis. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. But the last thing I would say, just for the better for society thing, it's a fact of our reality that trans people exist, right? They exist. So at the end of the day, just like how we knew that black people are going to be part of society, how gay people are going to be part of society, at the end of the day, these people are going to be part of society. So that doesn't mean that we reshape our entire human life around them. But the fact that they're going to be part of society means that, yeah, we have to acquiesce, just like how white people had to acquiesce to me being in a diner, right? We changed all that because black people are going to be part of society, and they have to be. You know what I mean? But hey, Anointed, I got another call, and we're out of time. But I appreciate you. Come back in, okay?
No, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. This is the topic of conversation that I like. In order, even though we disagree, we can still go ahead and have a polite conversation. Guys, thank y'all so much for being here. I knew when I restarted, I'll go ahead and get some callers to come in. You guys are amazing. Thank y'all so much. Kristen, I'm going to ask you to stop crashing out in my TikTok comments. And if you want to speak, go ahead and just request and come on up. All right. All right. 907 Austin. How's it going, Austin? I do appreciate you for being patient. Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with leftist policies are better for society?
Yeah, no, I'm 30. So I do disagree with the leftist policies of the society, but I also disagree with the Republican policies. I think there's a third option that I believe would be more appropriate.
Okay, what's that?
Well, there's this guy. He's been lied about a lot, and he used to be a painter, but then he became a politician, and that was the most lied about, greatest leader. With the honor of you, friend, Heil Hitler.
Call from
Jacob.
All right, Jacob, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yes, I disagree with a lot, and I'm 20.
All right, Jacob, 20. All right, Jacob. Did you want to know which leftist policies I'm talking about, or
I just have one question. Like,
sure.
How the fuck are you that black, you fucking nigger, fucking monkey? What the fuck? Oh my
cool.
God, that shit got me.
So you jealous? You jealous of my chocolatiness? You jealous of my chocolatiness?
So fucking mad? Why are you chipping out?
Stop honking out. Stop honking out. All right, so I'm black because my ancestors were from Africa, and we developed this beautiful, gorgeous skin that you can never have because you're pasty and porcelain. You know what I mean? So because of your pastiness, because of your pastiness, you can never have this wonderful, chocolatey, melanin-enriched skin. Which is why by the time you're 30, you look like you're 60, and by the time that I'm 60, I still look like I'm 30. Sorry, honky boy, but that's what it is. Thank you so much for calling in. Suck my dick. Anyway, I do appreciate y'all for being here. And of course, the live was restricted because people were calling me the N-word. Of course, it's going to happen. Thank y'all so much for all the N-words, y'all. And you get my live restricted. Of course, it's going to happen. All right, y'all. So I'm still here. We're going to go ahead and put some relaxing music on. I'm going to go ahead and put some relaxing music on. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Tap that screen, y'all. Please tap that screen. The more you tap that screen, the more it get pushed out there. Because unfortunately, it got restricted because of the people dropping N-bombs on the stream. So because they dropped all the N-bombs, I get restricted. Of course, that always happens. So go ahead and tap that screen, y'all. We're going to bring up Zekti.
Hello, what's up?
Zekti, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yeah, I think any politician like group can like be good for society if they like use the right methods. Like it's not the problem in their approach, it's more like in what they are trying to push.
Right. So the leftist policies that I think will be better for society are things such as universal health care, parental leave, redoing our entire criminal justice system. Give me 1 second.
Call from.
No, I don't know why I hung up, but yeah. So those are the policies that I think we should do. Like we should get rid of the war on drugs, things like that. I think those would be better for society. You disagree?
Yeah, they are like have mostly good effects, but they are really hard to like push them forward.
There are some that could be hard to push them forward. Like, for example, people still have issue with universal health care. I don't know why. And so it could be a little bit more difficult, but just like how you said, it'll be better for us, right? But something like the war on drugs, I think that should have ended. Like, even conservatives at this point agree that we should end the war on drugs. That should have happened yesterday. Yeah, I mean, so that might not be a problem. Something like guaranteed housing, I think there'll be people who would probably disagree with that because it sounds like everybody is going to have a free house. But once we explain that guaranteed housing is simply that we're funding empty lots, building more, investing into construction to build more houses, changing zoning laws so we can have more multifamily housing and things like that. For for our homeless problem, we can we can buy out lots, like huge acres of land, and build tiny homes and stuff like that. Couple that with like mental health services, etc. Then I think most people would understand and agree with it.
The problem with housing crisis is that you can't solve it by building more houses. You will like solve the problem of homelessness and aggressive home home, what do you call it, the ones that live in the empty homes. Squatters,
right. I mean, the thing is squatters. Yeah. But the thing is the
problem is that
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is that it will create another problem, which is the lack of productivity and the increase of consumption when it comes to electricity and water. This will create things like slums and the ghettos, and it will create a larger problem.
Not necessarily,
so that's not how we should push it.
Not necessarily. I mean, solving the homeless problem is literally that we need more houses. That's literally the issue, because the empty houses that exist now. Hold on.
Yes.
The empty houses that we have now are not ready to be lived in. Right. Of course, there are houses that are just being hoarded for speculation. No one denies that. That should be some of the things that we handle, of course. But majority of the houses are not even ready to be lived in, or they're all over the country. So we just can't plop up a homeless person from like Texas and put them in Detroit in a rundown house. Like that wouldn't make sense, right? So the housing crisis is that not enough housing, not enough houses. So we should be investing heavily into construction to housing, in my opinion. But the thing is, when you said that it's going to cause more consumption, energy consumption.
Because those people don't provide anything.
But
and they are
hold on. Just because they're homeless, what you gotta understand is that half the homeless actually work. They're working homeless. You know what I mean? They actually work. So number one, they're still productive. They still have jobs. But one of the I think it was a social experiment that was done in California, where they give like a homeless person money, and the majority of those homeless people were able to get jobs and get a place to live. So a lot of the issues with homeless people not having jobs is literally because they're homeless. You know what I mean? Because being homeless is very hard to get a job, because you don't have like a permanent address. You don't really have access to emails or showering, or even that's just a roof over your head from the hold on, Zeki. Or just having a roof over your head, which can, affect your mental health. You see what I'm saying? So actually, people into house, see the majority of the time, like they actually like repair and fix their lives, right? It's not just we're just gonna give them a house and motherfuckers just gonna sit around and not do nothing.
Yeah, the problem is that the lack of consumption power. So this trying to solve it like this will make us like in South America, like the Latinos, the Venezuelans and the rest. They have like the freedom to build anywhere, but you will end up with the problem of a really unreformed civilian population.
Who's saying to do
Which
that, bro? No one's saying to do that.
yeah, that's why they have like a really big problem with chaotic buildings and
Yeah, but
cartels.
Zeki, no one said to do that. I said that the government shouldn't be investing into construction for houses, right? That's what I said. That means there's gonna be regulation. There's gonna be building codes. No one said to just let niggas build anywhere. Like no one said that. I'm talking about like
Yeah,
when I'm talking about zoning laws. I'm talking about the zoning laws that only single unit homes can be built here, and getting rid of NIMBYism, which is basically racism. But getting rid of NIMBYism, you know what I mean? Where if you want to have multi-unit housing, then the entire neighborhood is against it, and they don't want to change the zoning laws. We should just change the zoning laws. Like fuck that. Change the zoning laws. Let multi-family homes be built in order for us to get more people into housing. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying to do, not just let niggas build on the block somewhere. Like no one's saying to do that.
Yeah, but what would really solve it is to make the population itself be able to afford the housing by reforming the way they get their jobs. The qualifications need to become lower, and the income need to be slightly higher. I guess that would solve everything.
What are you talking about?
You see, the problem why people are unable to afford housing is because they are either unreformed, like they don't have like basic uh, requirements for a job, or the job itself that they have is not good enough to support a person or a family.
Okay, I'm really trying hard to understand what you're talking about here. You're saying that the
I'm
reason
saying
why
that they
people
need
are
to-
hold on. You're saying that the reason why people are homeless is because their jobs suck?
No, because there are two problems. Either they are not reformed, which means they are uneducated or not really have a stable how do we say it, handyman capabilities.
Don't have skills?
Or yes, exactly. Or they don't even have the, how do you say, the social interaction education to start a job that is productive. Or they do have jobs, but they are not like
They're not good
something
jobs.
that someone would
Right. Okay.
live on.
So yeah. So that means that you're advocating for us to go ahead and increase the skills of these people, like put them into trades and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I don't disagree.
But
I don't disagree.
this needs to be on large scale.
Yeah, we could invest that into large scale as well. Like what I've always said is that high schools, especially in red line areas where black people were discriminated against to be poor, those schools should all have like trade schools in them. So when those kids graduate, they're able to get into the job market.
They're called practical education. They need to like get hands on, and the chance to get hands on and acquire the handyman.
I agree. But what I'm struggling to fail to understand is that you're kind of against guaranteed housing and saying that we shouldn't do guaranteed housing or build more housing.
No.
But I'm kind of
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Half the people on the streets are drug addicts, or they have family problems, or they are like have records. You can't give those houses. You first need to reform them and give them jobs. Then they will get houses automatically. If you just
wait, hold on,
you're not solving the problem.
Hold on, wait. So we need to reform them, get them off drugs and jobs. How are they going to do that if they don't have a place to live?
Yeah, that's called like how do we call it? It's called staying. It's like something like staying, working, and getting paid for your work. But it's just like a reformation facility. What? It's like
so they go to a facility and they live there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So housing.
They earn. Yes, it's not temporary housing, but what they gain from that is reforming to adapt into society and get a handyman capability.
So
that
housing
will make them capable. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not full housing. I'm not talking about houses. These are facilities with dorms. They call
they
dorms.
stay in dorms, but the
exactly.
dorms are basically like a room by itself, like having a room in a big house, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Just like the
a boarding house.
Whatever.
So a boarding house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So housing.
Yeah.
There we go.
But,
so we agree. So we agree.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
But this is not,
stuff like that is fine.
But this is not
That'll
the housing that we're talking about. The housing that we're talking about is on a global scale. We're talking about the whole.
But Zeki, that's what I'm talking about, though. That's the policy that I would like to put in. We should have boarding houses for homeless people.
Yeah.
That's what I want like to put in.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the first step.
Right,
but it needs to be like for a reason, for reform, and not just so they find a place to stay.
I mean,
otherwise
even
it beats the purpose.
No, I don't think it does, because even if it's just for a place to stay, a lot of these people are going to go ahead and start getting work and jobs because their mental health is better.
And the other health, and the problem is the other health will stay on their bad track. So this is what I'm trying to.
There's always going to be people who stay on the bad track. There's always going to be that, right? It's always going to happen.
No.
My concern is
it's not that they are bad. No. It's not that they are bad. They are forced into that. They have mental problems. They have social problems. They have addiction and an unreformed behavior that wasn't educated from the start.
I got you. It has to
crackheads.
No, of course. I got you.
Crackheads.
No, of course. I know about crackheads. I grew up in Florida, so I get you. It has to be a robust policy. I do agree with you with that, right? It's not just boom, build a house and put a motherfucker in there. No, it's not just that. Of course, it has to be a robust policy.
Yeah.
You know, again, I'm getting people educated, getting people off drugs, blah. I get that. No, I 100% agree. It has to be a complete robust policy. The only thing I was saying is that there's always going to be people who fall out of line for some reason, who just choose bad shit. You know, I mean, there's always gonna be those people. But we have to have a robust policy. But that's what guaranteed housing is all about. It's all about the robust policy to make sure that we can get people into homes, make sure that we can get them educated, make sure that we can have the health care in order to get them mental health services. It's about all of that. It's all together, not just one thing. You know what I mean? I think we should do all these things at the same time, and have a robust solution to this problem, not just half-ass it, because I think that's the big problem with a lot of people saying that, oh, these doesn't work, because you look at liberal states, it don't work, but those states half-ass it. You know what I mean? They don't have the robust policy that we're talking about. Oh, Zeki dropped for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. The call line is still open, so if you guys want to go ahead and call on in. I haven't been reading the comments over on a Deconstruction Junction, but I do see that there are people commenting over on the Deconstruction Junction. Monkey Business, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for keeping the conversation going. Over on my channel, Volsy Thoughts, thank you so much to my mod, Why Weed, for being here. Thanks so much to the mod, Collapsism, for being here. You guys are amazing. I appreciate y'all. I agree, Dino. If the American right actually read Wealth of Nations, they would say that he's a Marxist. Yeah, I mean, because didn't he advocate for unions and shit like that? So yeah, they would definitely call him a Marxist. Wasn't Wealth of Nations before Marx, or am I wrong about that? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. Wealth of Nations. Wealth of Nations was 1776. Yeah. And Das Capital was 1885. So it was before Marx. Yeah. So I was right about that. Yeah, it was before Marx. But yeah, if they read I gotta read Wealth of Nations again, but I gotta read Wealth of Nations and Das Capital again. But yeah, they would call him a Marxist today. But yeah, Monkey Business over in the Deconstruction Junction. Appreciate you for keeping the live going. Appreciate you for the comments, keeping it going. I do see 504 Fireman. You were here last time. You said you want to call in, but you were at work. You can call in now if you want, if you have the time to. Why Weed? Thanks so much for being an amazing mod. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all, we're just waiting for another person to come in. Y'all keep tapping on that screen. Keep tapping on that screen, please, because unfortunately I did get restricted because the people were dropping N-bombs in my People were dropping in-bombs in my call, so that's why I got restricted. But the restriction is only supposed to last for 10 minutes. All right, it's only supposed to last for 10 minutes. I think the 10 minutes are basically up now, so we should be good. I think we should be good. The 10 minutes are up, so I shouldn't be there. So go ahead and tap on that screen. Shout out to Big Time. Thank you so much, Big Time, for being there. T Speaker says, why do churches lock their doors? Now, of course, they lock their doors because, you know, there are folks out there who are just assholes. They're gonna ruin it. But I do think that churches should open up their doors to have the homeless sleep in there. You know what I mean? Like, what's that guy's name? The guy, Joe Oilsheen. There we go. Yeah, Joe Oilsheen, right? He has a stadium-sized church. Like, the church fits 12,000 people, bruh. 12,000 people. You know what I mean? Like, you can take in half the population of Houston. You know what I'm saying? It's not half the population of Houston, but like a lot of the homeless population. All right, we're gonna talk to Phil. Phil, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
Yeah, I'm over 18. What's the argument?
Say what?
I'm over 18. I'm just curious. What's the argument?
What's the argument for what?
That leftist policies are better for society.
Yeah. When you look at the policies that, especially that I advocate for, you see that people are healthier and happier as well. So I think they're good for society. I think it's good for society to have healthy, happy, productive people.
Yeah. Can you demonstrate this?
Yeah, sure. Let's look at some of the Scandinavian countries, right? The people there are healthy, they're the happiest people, and they're pretty productive as well. The policies that I typically push for are things such as, you know, universal health care, such as guaranteed housing, such as, you know, parental leave, you know, free college, things like that. I think we see that in nations that do have these, the people are productive and they're happy as well.
Yeah, does correlation equal causation?
No.
Great. So how do you control for outside factors?
What outside factors?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
You're the one who said, well, you're the one claiming that there's outside factors. What are they?
Well, yeah, these are nations, correct, right? They have distinct groups of people. There could be certain other reasons why they're healthy and happy. You have to prove that it's because of the policies. The burden of proof is on you, my friend.
Yeah, it's so you're saying that, okay, let me understand what you're saying here. You're saying here that I'm sorry, this is very distracting. Give me 1 second because I can't even read this. So I don't know why this person is doing that. I can't even read what they're saying. All right, so let me try to understand what you're saying. You're saying that there are other reasons why these countries are happy and healthy is not due to the policies.
Yeah, potentially could be the case. If the Scandinavian countries are healthy and happy, I want you to show me that's because of the policy.
Okay, we can look at what was going on in those countries before those policies passed.
Sure, let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's take a look at which country should we take a look at?
Oh, I don't care. It's up to you.
Actually, that would be difficult to do. That would be unfair, actually, for me to do, because before these policies passed was World War II. So no one was healthy or happy then. So it'll probably be unfair for me to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that would work, right? So
yeah, it wouldn't work.
I think the problem is here you just don't have enough evidence, right? Like I'm good. Like I said, I can see that those are good countries to live in. They have a good standard of living.
Mm-hmm.
They're happy and healthy, but I'm just asking, can you show that because of these policies?
What else do you think it is?
That's not my burden of proof, right? That's yours.
Right. So okay. So even if I could, if I were to say, hey, let's not because of these policies, what is it then?
I don't know why you're asking me. This is your argument, sir. Right.
So what I'm doing here, Phil. Phil, hold on. What I'm doing here is I'm going to acquiesce to your position. You said that we cannot show that's part of these policies. I'm going to say, okay, for the sake of argument, let's say that we cannot show because of these policies. What do you think it is then?
I didn't say that we can't show it. I'm just asking you to show it because it's your claim. I will concede, like, if you have evidence that, like, before these policies and the context is right, that these improve them, I'll concede right now if you can show me that. That's not my burden of proof. I'm skeptical to the position. That's it.
Okay, why?
Why am I skeptical? Because I don't have any evidence to believe it. That's why.
All right, cool. So, like, what the evidence that we have is that when we look at countries that do have universal health care, they have better health outcomes, right? And they have more access, more people have access to health care as well. So when more people have access to health care and they have better health outcomes, and the country has universal health care, seem to indicate that universal health care is a positive policy. Would it not?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to make the argument that universal healthcare is beneficial, I don't necessarily. I mean, if you want to say that's like one leftist policy that's beneficial, like I don't even really want to dive into that because I just kind of agree with you. Like, yeah.
All right, great.
Some
All right,
form
cool.
of that
So-
would be good. Yeah.
All right, great. So universal health healthcare, you would agree with is a good policy. All right, great. Now, how about something like paid parental leave? Do you think that would be a good policy, or you are skeptical that one would be happy too?
No, I would absolutely support that, and I don't necessarily think, like at this point, and I think it'd be fair if we're going to be like somewhat good faith. I think there's a strong push for that on the right as well.
Paid parental leave?
Yes, 100%. I mean, just looking at like
I won't even disagree with that. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
Yeah,
I think
100%. I think
the
that goes
right.
both ways.
I think the right is at this point would be fine with universal health care. You know what I mean? I've met libertarians from Alaska who said at this point we might as well just do it. You know what I mean? So I don't even disagree with that either. You know what I mean? I think I think people on the ground will be fine with it. It's more the politicians who are paid off that wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? So it's not really us, it's the leaders. So all right, cool.
So you're saying like the GOP?
Yeah, I think the GOP is wouldn't push for it.
Oh, well, yeah, because they're terrible.
Yeah, and the Democrats either. Yeah, I mean, even the ACA was written by the insurance company, so I don't think the Democrats would either. So it's more of the leaders and representatives that we have that are not putting these in. You know what I mean? If me and you were up there, we'd probably put it in, but you know we're not. All right, so let's see. All right, cool. So I think your contention is that you have an argument that these policies are positive, but you doubt that they make society happier.
I mean, if we're going to talk about universal health care, like, yeah, I'd probably say that's beneficial. Paid parental leave, those are two good points. Yeah, that would probably be beneficial. But like the leftist policies overall, like, let's think of what are some more policies that if your only contention or your only consideration is those two policies, I can just concede and you win. Yeah, I'd agree. I disagree with you.
How about free college?
Yeah, can you show me how that would work?
Just the government pays for college, like how they pay for high school, like public school.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I'm asking, can you demonstrate how that would be beneficial? Do you have like evidence for that?
Yeah, a higher educated populace. The when you have a free college, like you don't have people like the college debt that we have today is actually shown to be a hindrance to our entire economy because people are servicing their debt rather than using that money to circulate it into the economy. Countries that don't have that have more they have more like intake they have more pocket money in order to circulate it into the economy.
Yeah, like what?
What? You're away from your mic, bro. I can't hear you.
Sorry, one more time. Yeah, do you have like a country in mind, like you can demonstrate for me?
That has free college. What is that country? Let me not use a Scandinavian country. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Germany has it. If I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. You mind if I just look it up real quick?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't care. I mean, if you can demonstrate that, like, if you can show a country before and after free college and that's benefit, then I'm sure.
Okay, yeah. So Germany does basically have free college, but you just paid like an administrative fee. Essentially, the administrative fee is like I think around 200 to 400 pounds, which is like I think $600 here in America, if I'm not mistaken. So they're just paying an administrative fee essentially. But the thing is, what we have a college debt crisis here in America, right? And it's actually hindering our economy. So if we free that up, and you don't have millions of people servicing their debt, and then can use that money in order to circulate into the economy, that would be better for us, right? At least that's where I'm coming from.
I mean, yeah, in theory, potentially. Like, I mean, when you say like this policy is better for society, I'm just looking for like, you know, like direct evidence of it. Like, yeah, I can understand your theory here. I just want to see if like, because that's the way economics work, right? So there's so many different factors that you kind of need to have like real evidence to indicate if something's going to work or not.
Okay, well, we know the real evidence that the way that we do college in America now is a hindrance. There's people who are bogged down in debt because of it, and it's affecting their credit. It's affecting the way the economy moves because of the large a large amount of student debt. So it's costing us. So if we free up that debt, what happens?
May I say something?
One second, not your turn yet. No, not her turn yet. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like you can show me in theory, like, yeah, it would free up debt, right? But then the government's paying for it.
Yep.
So can you show me real world effects on the economy when this is done? Like you said, Germany, for example. Can you show me how that like was better afterwards somehow?
Like before they had free college? I think Germany always had it.
Right, so that's not gonna be a good example. Like if you're gonna say like something's better for society, the best way to prove it would be like show the case before and then show the case after.
So the case before and then show the case after. Actually, they didn't always have free college. They went to tuition free around 2000, I think. I got to look that up. I'm not exactly sure, but so you would agree that in theory this would free up debt, but you're skeptical that would be good for us?
No, I'm saying that like economics there's so many factors. Some people even argue that you can't really even calculate the potential of what could happen based on the policy, because it's just based on people's minds whether they're going to put their money here or there, right? There's so many people. It's hard. You can say something work in theory, that's great, and I would maybe be for it, but I would like to see some real world application that's worked.
So you would have to see that if you would have to see like an application of a society or a country that was kind of like ours, where everybody paid for college and then they made it free.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like have some crazy burden of proof. Like if you can, like, I'll be generous. Like if you can just show me like a country that didn't have it and they implement it and then it worked, I'll concede right now, dude. It's fine. I'm not here to win an argument.
Oh, actually, I can show you ours, because in America, college used to be very, very low cost until Ronald Reagan. It was basically like how Germany is. You basically pay like an administration fee until Ronald Reagan. So it was working before we changed it to the current system now. And now we have huge college debt.
What policy did he implement?
Ah, God damn it. What was it? Shit. Give me a second. I completely forgot. I know he did it in California, and before he became president in California, he stopped funding debt. I stopped funding college, and then that was made national. What was it? Oh yeah, he just cut the funding. He just cut the funding to the University of California system. And when he became president, the like federal education budgets, basically, like because we used to have a budget that went to higher education. He just cut the budget, basically. So like we used to fund college, and then he cut the budget.
Carried on to the students.
I'm sorry, say that one more time, please.
Yeah, so you're saying he cut the funding, and then that cost was carried on
to the students. Exactly. And then he shifted from like grants to loans. Like the administration, they reduced the amount of grants that people can get. So because that, people had to go ahead and get loans because they couldn't get the grants anymore. So before Ronald Reagan came in, college was highly funded. It was very, very low cost. Everybody was going. There was not a lot of college debt. And then after he cut the budget, he cut the grants, and now we have college debt. And people are calling it a crisis at this point. So even in our country, we see that it was.
So you would be in favor of going back to a pre-Reagan policy where there's just more funding and grants?
Yes.
But that's not necessarily free college, right? Or is that the ultimate goal, or you're just looking to get cost downs?
We have to. I would be completely 100% fine with just getting costs down. If it was simply $600 a semester, that would work out way better than what we have now.
Yeah. Is that like explicitly leftist policy? Like, I'm just asking.
Yeah. When you say explicit, I'm pretty sure you can find some conservatives who would agree. But right now, for the majority of the right that I'm seeing, they just don't want at all. They don't want college no forgiveness. You get bankrupt from college debt, and they don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm seeing that right now the left is the one that's pushing at least for lower costs to free. Oh, my bad, baby.
Yeah, maybe we had a bit of a misunderstanding. So it's you're in favor of like stronger government? Because I would just agree with you there. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm fine with stronger government.
Yeah. No, we're cool then. Yeah, I'm just gonna agree with you. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure, dude. We should definitely have, especially when it comes to like when you're talking about the kids, right? Like, of course, we should be, making it very easy for people to have children, right? Our birth rate is terrible, and that's terrible for your country.
Yeah.
You can look at any country with a bad birth rate, not working out very well right now.
Not working out well. Yeah, especially over in East Asia. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Korea in the next 50 years.
South Korea and Japan, it's looking rough, dude.
Yeah, it's really rough.
So yeah, stronger government. W, dude. Yeah, I agree.
All right, cool. Hey, listen, appreciate you challenging me on that, because like that, I had to like question assumptions. Yeah, so hey, I appreciate that, and it was good good talking, man. Like I gotta go ahead and sharpen these up, because it's been a while since someone challenged me specifically on that before. So hey, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Take care, bro.
Yeah, you too. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are amazing once again. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I'm iron sharpens iron. He challenged me on an assumption that I have, even though the assumption, or at least the base assumption, was correct in some ways. Like I should still have evidentiary basis for it, which is he's right about. So W. Like I need to go ahead and gather a lot more evidence than the assumptions that I could just recall. A lot of these details I just recall them. I need to have them on hand. He's right about that. So I appreciate that, Phil. I do appreciate that, Phil. Thank you. All right, guys. So I am still here, and I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Once again, if you're talking over on Deconstruction Junction, I'm not reading all the comments. Wouldn't be able to answer anybody. Okay, someone told me that the line is not working. The line actually does work. However, the reason why it doesn't seem to be working is because I was getting basically like threatening calls from unknown numbers. So I basically put the unknown number to go strictly to voicemail. I mean, so if you're calling me and the number is unknown, it's going straight to voicemail. That's what happened. But what I will do is, just for the time being, if you don't want your me to actually see your number. Now, the thing is, I see all the numbers, right? But like, I'm not gonna call you back. I don't really give a shit. But what I will do is that I will let's see. I will make the unknown calls come through. Okay. All right. So if you're on, just give me 1 second, y'all. Hey, that one. How's it going, brother? I'm going to make sure that the unknown numbers come through. Okay, guys? Because that was the only reason. The only reason it wasn't working is because you're calling me from an unknown number. So if you call me from unknown, it goes straight to voicemail. I'm going to change that now. And once I change that, then you'll be able to call me. All right. Hey, that one. How's it going, brother?
Good. So no cabinet position for you?
Yeah, no cabinet position for me because I already know I'm not gonna follow American interests, bro. I'm gonna tell everybody to not do that shit. I would be the one that that votes for.
They can't tell the difference, Volchi. They can't tell the difference. Seriously, like, this is one thing I learned about the GOP and MAGA. As long as they think you're on their side, they don't care about your criminal behavior.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Like, over and over and over again, right? Like, it always ends up that they are some crook, right? And that's how they got in. Anyway, leftist policies. I was reading about how China sentences and executes people for financial crimes.
Yep.
And I just feel like that's the policy that we could really use.
Yeah,
right?
it could, yeah.
And I really hope that Andrew Tate goes state's evidence because he says he knows about Trump's business. But I think accountability is the strongest leftist policy, right? And it even shows up occasionally in Democrats, right? You see the tiniest little bit of accountability, and all of a sudden, you know, we have better processes and better policymakers.
I would agree with that.
So that's, like, I would say, because I don't really consider the Democrats to be lefties, but if they want to win, they need to show that they can hold people accountable. And I think that's how they win. Although I don't think Trump's going to allow it. But honestly, I think there's going to be it's going to be a toss-up election where they're going to interfere.
You think so?
They keep on saying it, right? And, like, I talk to Democrats and I'm like, what are you going to do when Trump does these illegal things to the election that he said he's going to do? And they're like, well, he can't do that because it's against the Constitution.
He hasn't given a shit about the Constitution, bro. So it's like,
right. Like, when is he going to start now? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like I don't think he's gonna start caring about what's in the Constitution now, y'all. Like he already didn't care. So it's like, oh man, I don't know, man. Like the Democrats are a special case. All right, guys. I went ahead and got rid of that rule. So if you want to call me now, and you want to call me from like an unknown number, then you'll be able to do that now. That's the only reason it was going straight to voicemail. So if you want to call me from an unknown number, you'll be able to do that now. Just know that it'll get ruined for you if someone calls in with, spamming the N-word and threatening me, because I was getting that a lot. That's the only reason why I have. That's the only reason why I had in the first place, because people were calling in threatening me. So I had to just send them all to voicemail. But if you like to talk to me now, go ahead and call in. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's like, what are y'all gonna do when he actually does what he says he's gonna do? Because he said he was gonna do a lot of shit that he's already doing. So it's like, you just can't stand back and let him rock. Well, I guess, since they already warned America this is what he's gonna do, they're just gonna sit by and let him rock for it. But like, will we have a country by then? So it is what it is.
Well, I don't think we've had one for a while, too. Volchi, like, I loathe Trump, and he is like a blatant criminal. But like, that's what our country like kind of deserves at this point. You know, like I know it's like horrible to think about, but like these are the kinds of things that we need mechanisms to stop. And what worries me about the electioneering and this, like their attitude towards the election, is that I don't think we have the mechanisms required to hold them responsible. Like they have dismantled the DOJ to the point where they are essentially immune. Like,
and you see, this is the problem, right? Because who checks the president? Because this has been a question. What's kind of crazy to me is that conservatives asked this question back when Obama was president, right? And now they're not asking now. They always ask what happens if the president does not follow a court order. What exactly happens? I mean, who investigates and arrests the president for not following a court order blatantly? You know, they were asking that question under Obama, but now they're not. Now they want him to get away with stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of crazy. So it's one of those things where it's very, very interesting to see exactly how much they flipped. Like, let me tell you, man, if there was a Republican candidate back in 2000 that said that Mexicans are sending drug dealers and rapists to America, the dude would get booed off the stage immediately. It would happen immediately. Back in 2000s, that's what the Republicans were. They know how insane that sounds. And nowadays, they're cheering for it. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Well, did you see how JD laughed off Watergate?
Yeah, because he's done worse shit than Watergate, and they're not. People don't even care. How's it going, Trey? What's going, Rob?
Hey, what's up, bro? I gotta disagree with you on that one in terms of the like even back then in the early 2000s, man, they were still crazy. They had Rush Limbaughs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would actually get cheers if a Republican actually said that. So I have to disagree. And I also remember when John McCain was running against Obama, some crazy lady was like, "Oh yeah, well he's a Muslim," and so like that, and he immediately took it away. And John McCain actually got flamed for that on the Republican platform. They're like, "Yo, why you stop her from saying that?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like, no, they were crazy even back then. It just they got even crazier. They got emboldened.
And they just got emboldened now.
Yeah. They're letting the freak file fly even higher now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's always funny to me how the main people who say they love and care about America so much also fly Confederate flags. Literally the country that was traitors against America. You know, someone said something that I remembered and I still agree with to this day. The reason why we have what we have today is because we didn't punish the Confederacy. We did not punish the Confederacy. If we punished the Confederacy the same way Germany punished the Third Reich, we would not be seeing what we see today. Like all of the Confederate traitors, they all should have been hung. None of the Confederate soldiers should have gotten military funerals. There should have been no statues, no honors, no streets in their name. What's crazy is that Robert E. Lee himself said that he wants no honors in his name. He said it himself. You know what I mean? But of course, you know, the racism of this country never let that happen. Reconstruction should have never ended. You know what I mean? They should have kept federal soldiers in the South until the 1960s, to tell you the truth. Reconstruction should have never ended.
But we want to keep the Union together or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a book called How the Confederacy Won the Civil War, and which is kind of funny because you think about, oh yeah, no, they lost the war, but really when you think about it, they actually won. Like they're like I don't want to say it first, but definitely one of a few. I guess what do you call it? I guess factions, so to speak, that lose the war and then wins on the back end. You know, when you think about it, like yeah, they may have lost the war, but they ended up getting their slaves back at a lesser degree. Then they were allowed to basically remix propaganda, you know, to basically clean up their image to make it look not as bad as they were. So you got people in the South saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't that bad." No, there were actually some good slave owners.
Exactly.
Like they clean up their whole entire what's it called lost cause.
The lost
thing,
cause
right?
myth.
Say, yeah, lost cause myth. Like, they were just fighting for freedom. There's states' rights. That's what it was about. It was not about slavery. And also, they did not start the war. No, like it was a war of progression. Like
exactly.
And abreast on our rights. They didn't get to lie up and down. And the liberal party, be it Republican, at the time, the radical Republicans, not even radical Republicans, more like the moderate Republicans, or the modern Democratic Party today. Both of them, like, just allowed it to happen because they didn't want to fight again. Even though they won. If you won, go ahead and call their bluff and fuck them up again. All right, you fucked them up once, you can fuck them up. They're still weak. They ain't got no money, but no, they just let it happen because we want to have a country. You should have a country so hold people accountable.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I think in a world where the Reconstruction lasted well into the 1950s, we would see an entirely different South, to tell you the truth. We'll see a lot more black representation. Hell, black people might still be Republican if that was the case. Tell you the truth.
Well, the 1880s found that we had like more than we have now. More representation for people in their boroughs and whatnot existed then, and then was like literally chopped in half by the end of Reconstruction.
Yeah.
And that's like 14 years. I mean, that's like, how long Fergie has been popular or whatever. Like, like I'm just saying, like some people have had careers longer than that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I also say as well, that we need to expand or represent the House of Representatives. We probably need to abolish the Senate. I have no idea why the Senate exists. What's the point of the Senate? Like, I still don't know what the point of the Senate is. If we're going to we just have like representatives, right? Everybody who's a senator should just be a representative. Just be a representative, because I have no clue what the Senate is for. If we're gonna have a Senate, then have the Senate to 4 representatives a state instead of 2 representatives a state at least, or 3 senators a state instead of 2 senators a state at least. Like, I think we need to expand the House of Representatives. We need to either abolish the Senate or expand the Senate, or change what the Senate actually does. Yeah, I mean, and what's another thing? We need to have more on the court. Instead of having what we have 9 justices, we need to have 13, and we need to have a constitutional amendment that they only serve for 25 years, because every 25 years is a new generation. You know what I mean? A new generation starts every 25 years. So,
well, we also should allow anyone to hold public office after the age of retirement. Period.
After 65, right? Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, well, it's 70 now.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying,
like
goodness. that still cuts out like 100 members of Congress.
For sure. All right, we have a guest. We have Fatima. Fatima, are you there? You there, Fatima? You there, Fatima?
Yes.
Fatima, how old are you?
Assalamualaikum.
All right. So yeah, man, like that will cut out like at least 100 people who shouldn't be there right now. But yeah, man, I think as a justice, we need to have 13 justices, number 1, and number 2, you can only serve for 25 years. That's number 2. We need to expand the House of Representatives from 435 to at least 700. As a matter of fact, yeah, just get rid of the Senate. There's no point of the Senate. I have no idea what the point of the Senate is. Does anybody have any idea what the point of the Senate is? Because I have no clue. What's the point of the Senate?
Well, the point is the same reason that it always is: keep their slaves.
Oh, that was the point of the Senate.
Not I don't know what that is, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those things where, like, you making like the assumptions you made about Reagan, like it's a safe assumption to make, even if you're not quite sure. Like, listen, I don't know for sure. I feel pretty confident. I'm just like you put me on with Don't Be a Millionaire. I mean, sorry, you put me on like who wants to be a millionaire, and that was the question. Like, hey, what's the point of the Senate, right? And one option was to keep slavery. I would choose. That's what I would do, because this is one of those assumptions you probably never go wrong.
Yeah, I think it is one of those things, because it says that it's 2 per state, and it's to protect minorities, to protect the large states from controlling all the rules, basically. So yeah, so that's the point of the Senate, I guess. All right, let's try Fatima again. Fatima, are you there? Fatima, are you there?
Yes, حبيبي. السلام عليكم حبيبي.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and block Fatima. So the point of the Senate is to basically protect the smaller states from being taken over by the bigger states. If that's the case, expand the Senate, then make it 3 instead of 2. I mean, make it 3. Or they're all just part of their House of Representatives. I don't. And the Senate's supposed to check the president, but that's the point of the Senate. They're the ones who are actually supposed to check the president, the Senate. But if the Senate is all agrees with the president, what that means then? Actually, the Senate should be completely nonpartisan. Yeah, that's what the Senate should be. The Senate should be completely nonpartisan. The Senate should, if the House of Representatives is going to be the Democrats and Republicans, we need to change the rules for the Senate to be a third party. Let's do that. Yeah. If the Senate is to exist, it has to be a third party, because they're the ones who's supposed to check the president. You know what I mean? So make the Senate a completely third party. The Senate cannot come from the Democrats or the Republicans. The Senate has to be from another party. We should try to get that on the ballot. Now, of course, will Congress pass that? Y'all think Congress will pass some shit like that?
Nope.
Yeah.
They'll find some excuse to vote against it.
Yeah, of course they will. They won't vote for that. I don't think any congressperson will be brave enough to put that forth. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat, Republican, whatever they are. I don't think any congressperson would be brave enough to put that forth, to say that the current senators right now within the Senate, they all move over to the House of Representatives, and all 100 senators get all voted from a third party. Every single senator gets. You have to basically start all over again. Do all the you know how we do. I think we vote for the Senate like what, every 4 years, every 6 years. Yeah, I mean, you have to do that all over again. Where this year comes in, the year that we vote for the Senate, all the Senate is going to move over to the House of Representatives, and the entire Senate, all 100 seats, will be a third party. And it has to be third party. Has to be. Democrats and Republicans can't be that, because they're the ones who are supposed to check the president. And if they're checking the president, it needs to be independent of the president. That's actually a good way to get more third party voters in. Have them go for senator. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here soon, man. I'm gonna get out of here soon. Of course, hey, madam, if you'll have to call in, don't just say leftist policies are destroying America, because right now I'm seeing Trump destroy America, and he's not putting in leftist policies. So if you'd like to call in and speak with me, go ahead and call in within the next few minutes, because I'm about to get out of here. All right. Who's requesting? Let me see who's requesting. Oh, it's Fatima again. Let's bring up Satham. Fatima, get your Wi-Fi fixed. I don't know what to tell you.
I got a quick question for you.
How's it going, Satham?
Hey, good to see you, bro. Maybe you can help. I'm not too familiar with, I'm not as good in politics as you. I was talking to a buddy who's like somewhat, yeah, sorry?
No, that's what's up. What's good?
Did you say something? So I was talking to a friend, and he's like somewhat pro-Trump and shit. And he's saying IRS has managed to record.
Jacob.
To accept, press.
Go ahead.
Managed to get record tax revenue even in spite of so-called Trump's blunders. And I guess he's pointing this as a sign of Trump's successes due to his policy. Hold on, let me read what he wrote. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so he wrote, I thought it was interesting, despite Trump's one big beautiful bill, all the terrible tax cuts, to date 2026 fiscal year, IRS increased revenue tax collection, comes despite the refunds IRS has had to issue for tariffs after Supreme Court decision. Isn't that interesting? One would think our revenue has decreased dramatically, but actually has increased. So yeah, I just wanted to know what your thoughts on that were.
I would have to go ahead and take a look at that. So they said the IRS revenue increase. Is it because of the tariffs? Because if it's the tariffs, then yeah, it's going to increase.
Yeah, that makes sense. But this comes despite the refunds that the IRS has had to issue for the tariffs after the Supreme Court decision. Did the Supreme Court vote to give back the tariffs to us? No, right?
I don't think so.
I think they said the tariffs were illegal, but not that the tariff money that we paid should be given back. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get our tariff checks. I know that's not coming anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what it's looking like is that it's really where it came from was essentially from the corporate sector, right? Like corporate sector growth, tech sector growth, and we know the tech sector grew because of AI and stuff like that. So it's looking like a lot of revenue was coming from that. When it comes to like federal income or personal taxes, that went down. I mean, so much of it is coming from like corporations and AI generation. Once that bubble pops, which I think is happening already, I'm not sure if that one or Trill knows about the AI bubble right now. If it's popped already, they can let us know. Has it popped yet, you guys?
No, I guess not yet, but it's coming.
It's definitely coming.
Yeah, I think video that say it's close, but people say it all the time, like, "Oh, yeah, it's coming. You're there now."
Yeah, he's also saying, but we have to return about 160 to 180 billion dollars. We collected about 200 billion from tariffs, but they're trying to get the tariff revenue by the end of the year. So if they're able to do this before the end of the fiscal year, i.e. September, we should see another jump in revenue. And then he sent me this whole ChatGPT conversation. I haven't loaded it yet, but anyway, I just thought I'd get some insight with someone more knowledgeable than I.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the is coming from the tech sector because of AI boom. Yeah, I mean that's really it. And of course we have individual taxes that increases because people are basically going back to work again and stuff like that. So because when the AI booms, that affects, when the tech sector goes up, everything else is affected. So if that pops, then you're going to see a thing like a decrease. But yeah, I mean that always happens when you're not in a recession anymore. You're going to see increase in revenue. Sure.
Are we no longer in a recession? I thought we are still. And AI is basically the only thing holding us up.
Yeah. And if we see more contractions in the economy, because I think inflation actually went up from the last quarter. But if we see like the economy not grow, then, but a lot of the economic growth that we're seeing in America is just due to the tech sector, AI. It's basically due to that. You know what I mean? Once that slows down, you're not going to see a lot of growth. All right, like that's really what it's about. A lot of the growth is coming from the tech sector. That's pretty much it.
Word. All right, thank you, man. Just wanted to get your thoughts on.
Not a problem.
See.
Yeah, well, I've been thinking that that a lot of the neoliberal arguments have been accepted as gospel has basically been challenged by recent economic reality. Like the whole concept of Laffer curve was kind of in question. Like, oh yeah, if you give corporations less taxes, they're going to end up having more economic activity, and they're going to end up paying more in taxes. You know, okay, you've been getting them tax breaks for how long? And we haven't really had record, taxes at all. What was the last thing you said again? I was going to say something about that one. I just lost it. Sorry. I hate it when I lose that. My brain is splits and I forget what I was going to say. But there's so many things that they say. If this, then that, and we do their policy. When we're waiting on the then that, but all we get is just like record profits to like $1 trillion companies. So
exactly.
Like, wait a minute, like what happened to the results you said that would come about? They don't show up, and then say, oh well, just wait a little longer. Like, what do you wait a little longer? We gave you 3 years. Your experiment has failed. All your economic assumptions are not coming to fruition. So really, you lied.
All right, let's have one last caller before we get out of here. We have Walkie, Walk and Wheelie. I'll just call you Wheelie. Wheelie, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And did you disagree with what I have on the board?
I'm 37, and yes, I disagree.
All right, great. Do you want to know which leftist policies I'm talking about?
As a whole, I would say it's been detrimental to society.
Okay, cool. Can you tell me how universal health care would be bad for us?
I'm primarily talking about the ideas that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man, and that you're allowed to abort a child and it's only a fetus and not a child.
How's that bad?
Those are lies. Lies are bad.
Yeah. Yes. Women aren't men. Cool.
Yes, teaching men that they can become women is a.
I'm teaching that.
Yeah, they are. What?
No, they're not.
You're disingenuous. You're disingenuous as hell.
Disingenuous is not a word. You mean disingenuous?
Oh, you knew exactly what I mean. You just needed something to correct because I'm saying the truth.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
So teaching that women are men. We're teaching that trans people exist.
No, you're teaching people that they change their gender and their identity.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you guys are.
No, we're
That's
not.
the entire policy of.
There's no policy for it. There's no policy for it.
You're being very disingenuous. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You'd rather
there's no policy.
Conversation.
There's no policy. Hey,
Wheelie,
Wheelie,
pretend like we're not teaching kids.
Wheelie, we're not. No one is teaching 7-year-old Tommy that he can chop off his penis. No one is teaching him that. What they're teaching, they're not. What they're teaching, they're not. What they're teaching is that trans people exist. There are people who have the bodies of a male, but internally their gender identity does not match. That's all they're teaching. No, that's not a lie. Okay, cool.
That is a lie.
Can you send me a school lesson where it teaches that a little Jimmy should be chopping off his penis because he's really a girl and not a boy? Can you show me that?
You send me a lesson where it says people can be something that they're not.
What are you talking about? No, that's not a thing. What they're teaching
exactly,
to
it's
kids.
Not a thing. You can't be a woman if you're a man.
We know that, but women and
you
women
just
and
said
men,
you could be a
women
woman
and men. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That is what you just said.
No,
you said you could be a woman inside.
Male. Shut up. Male and man are not the same thing. Shut up. Male and man.
Now he's offended.
Male and man are not the same thing.
Manipulate the
I'm gonna need you to shut up for a second, okay?
Why?
Male and man. Shut up for a second. Male and man are. Shut the fuck up.
Listening to your lie.
Male and man are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Male and men are not the same thing.
Look,
and you know they're not the same thing. You know they're not the same thing. You know they're not the same thing as well. I can prove that you know they're not the same thing.
Men can't be women.
Wheelie.
And you're still trying to debate the topic.
Wheelie. Are male and man the same thing? Yes or no?
Male and men are the same thing.
Oh, okay. Yes. So a 5-year-old male is a man?
A 5-year-old male is going to be a man.
That's not what I asked you. Is a 5-year-old
It's the
male a
same
man?
thing.
That's not what I asked you. Is a
It's the same
5-year-old
thing.
male? No. I just asked you. Is a 5-year-old male a man?
Past tense, future tense. Same thing.
No. Is a
Yep.
5-year-old male a
Yep.
man? Is a 5-year-old male a man? Yes or no?
He's gonna be one. Yep.
So, a 5-year-old boy, you can give him whiskey because he's a man.
When he's older, sure.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, can you give a 5-year-old boy whiskey?
When he's old enough.
I didn't ask you when he's old enough. I asked you, a 5-year-old boy right now, can you give him whiskey?
When he's old enough, yeah.
I didn't. That's not what I'm asking you. Answer the
That is what
fucking
you're
question.
asking.
No, it's not. Answer
like
the
you're mad
fucking
that you
question.
don't
Shut
like-
up. Answer the goddamn
Oh, you
question.
didn't know-
Answer the question that's
Look, the
before
demons
you.
are coming out.
Shut up. Answer the question
demons
that's
are coming
shut the
out.
fuck up. Answer the question that's before you. A 5-year-old boy who is 5 years old right now, can he drink whiskey? Yes or no? Are you going to give that boy whiskey? Yes or no?
When he's old enough, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Idiot.
Wait. No,
Idiot. No, drop.
I just
I'm
thought
done.
about it.
I'm
I
done.
just realized something. You should the next question you should have asked him was, okay, by that logic, right? You said past tense, future tense, right? Then by his logic, a boy can become a woman because he becomes a woman because the person was a boy.
And then he's a woman. Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna use that one for next time. But hey, I shouldn't have dropped them. Yeah, that's a good one.
Dang, man.
That's a very good one.
I said something earlier.
All
I
good.
wasn't trying to interrupt you. I know you're gonna kick him that quick.
Yeah. At that point, if you just can't answer a direct question, you're a waste of time. Not gonna do anything. All right, but hey, Trill, I appreciate you, though, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. All right, I appreciate you, man.
All right, no problem, man. Good convo.
No problem. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being part of the conversation. You guys are wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, y'all. As I always say, be soft. What that means is to be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible, and be trustworthy. All right. Every man should be soft. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all.